on?
Hi, how are you?
Good, you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so we're making it happen.
Yeah, finally. It took a long time.
I'm already getting criticized.
No, you're not. No, it's okay. I mean,
I
I
haven't
understand.
even started what I'm saying. I'm already getting in trouble.
No, that's fine.
I, I try my best. I try my best. All right, well, let's start then.
Okay, let's start. So, last year in June, you guys were supposed to come to the Praxi Festival, which got canceled 2 weeks ahead, which
Yeah.
really sucked. And from what I heard from the Czech promoters and from Warner Music till now, it seems like you guys are not coming to Prague this year. Are you?
Well, I mean, we're still trying to figure out all our summer touring plans and all that. I mean, I'm not sure right now. It was really sad. Um, we were really excited about the festival. Obviously, there's so many great bands on it, especially for us. Playing with Blink-182 is always a true pleasure just for me because I'm a fan. I mean, first and foremost, like I grew up loving that band. So any chance I get to, you know, stand in front of that band and watch them play, I'm always honored and excited, and to share the stage with them is even cooler. So it was great. It was also All American Rejects on the show. So I'm not sure what happened. Like we really didn't like we got some kind of little info here and there on what kind of fell apart. These things happen. It's not Blink. It's not us. It's not the Reject. It's just unfortunate. Like the bands have really no control over that kind of stuff. It was pretty sad for us. It was really shitty, but unfortunately, we're gonna try to come back. And obviously, Prague, we had some amazing shows there. We played the arena over there. I think twice now, and every time there's some really cool surprises. Last time you got all the signs and all that, and it was really wonderful. And I know the fans are super passionate there, so we're gonna come back. It might not be exactly this summer, but you know, we try our best to tour as much as we can. But one thing that we want to do well is to put out new music. So we got to balance out the touring and everything. But I think we're gonna be around the same region. Worst come to worst, you guys can come see us. Not too far.
Yeah, I hope so because that's actually been another problem because you guys announced the show in Vienna recently in Austria, and I heard again from the Czech promoters that apparently that show got canceled.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out the dates and the right time.
Okay.
I don't like at this point. It's not really the band. It's like we have someone that helps us with our concerts and everything. They're just trying to line it up and make all the dates work and everything. So as soon as we have any kind of like official info, we're gonna put it out. Like I said, we try and we love playing everywhere. We try our best, and it's hard to like discuss specific like one show because I honestly we don't know it. Like nobody really knows. We're trying to make it work, but like I said, our goal is that Eastern Europe for us is a big region. We love it, and it's really big for us as far as the band. We do really well there, and we love our fans there, and we wanna give them more shows. So we're gonna try our best to come back ASAP. When it's not on this little run that we're doing, then it's gonna be it's gonna be as soon as we got some new music to play.
Okay. I trust you on that. So,
Well,
I recently finished the book, finally.
you're all the tough questions right off the bat.
Yeah. Um, and so I finished the book, and I could not could not notice that you guys did not mention at all role model clothing.
Oh no, we talked about it a little bit in the personal bio, whatever. Role model. It was super fun. We had a great time. We still, it kind of obviously we took a little bit of a hiatus, like you would say, on this record. What ended up happening is that we partner with someone to help us make it bigger and grow it, and the partnership didn't really work out. We kind of nobody was happy, so we ended up just kind of splitting, from that person and that company. And the last record has just been so busy, we didn't have a lot of time to kind of put into it. It's still something that I want to do. I enjoy like the clothing line and everything, and that was really fun to do. So definitely, I think soon, like now that we're done with the book and we're touring a little less, like Fred, who's our designer, we worked really hard on him on all the clothes and everything and all the T-shirts and the logos and everything. We want to kind of revive the project, but again, it's all these things that you want to do. You just have to find some time to make it happen. So I think that it might be the same for the next record. It might be something even earlier than that. I don't know yet. I feel like every time I tell you something, if I don't do it, you can show the video. Like, you told me to do it. Um, you, we try, we try to do as much as we can, but sometimes if we want to write a new song, we want to tour, and there's so much to accomplish. But role model, like for me, it's not dead. We just hit pause on this for a minute, and I'd like to revive it because I know a lot of people love it out there, and I still love it. Like one thing that was the worst on the last tour was every day I had to figure out what I had to wear. And role model was easier. It was like, oh yeah, we're all role models today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So much better for me. I really enjoy that very much. But I have to get back to that.
Well, it's really nice to hear that you guys are not finished with it. That you will still continue because it's a great line. So yeah, I can't wait to
I
resume with it.
hey, I feel the same way. We're gonna pick it up and we're gonna get it going again.
Okay,
It's gonna be
awesome,
fun.
awesome.
We're gonna come up with some. I just think we'll go back to like simple things like hoodies and caps and t-shirts. Like when we tried to take the line like with the full line, and I think it was it was too much and it was too quick, and I think this will be much better. Kind of keep it simple, keep it to what you guys wear, what we wear anyways, and just kind of like do it like that.
Okay. So there's another thing that I wanted to ask you regarding the book. Um, why was there such pressure on you to make Still Not Getting Any so quickly?
Um, well, I think that every time you finish a record, you have to already start thinking about the next one, like when you're gonna write it, especially when it's your first album and it comes out and it does so amazing. Like our first record sold 3 million albums around the world. We had Perfect was the last single and it was like the biggest song that we had in the U.S. and around the world. It was really massive and everything. So I think that the last thing you want is to go away for a year and a half, 2 years. You want people to kind of not forget about you because being a young band, there's a lot of new bands that pop out, and not a lot of new bands stay. They have one song or one album, and then the second one doesn't do well. You know what I mean? With us, like the second record, um, like you have all the time in the world to write your first album, but when it's time to write the second record, you don't have that much time anymore because people are waiting for it, and there's a million bands that are coming out all the time. And so I guess like there's maybe a fear like we don't want people to forget about the band. We want to come back and keep going because it was going so well. So a little bit of a I guess more than anything we put it on ourselves, because yeah, sure the label, your manager like let's go, we're gonna make a record, but at the same time like we've been dreaming being in a band since we were 12 years old, and as you saw in the book we went through so many things to get there. So once you finally quote unquote, arrive, to everything that you've been wanting and everything you've been dreaming about, you don't let that go kind of messes up. You want to keep it going. So there's two pressure. Like number one pressure, like let's not take long and just in the album, but more importantly, let's make the record unbelievable and like make it our even better than the first one, but we have less time to write. That's a lot of pressure. But I think that's really right. We had a good time writing. It was easier, for example, in contrast to the third album. That was more difficult, because we were on a roll, and when you're young, you don't think as much about uh, how things go bad. Like you sort of, I wouldn't like. I don't think that we knew it was gonna work, but and there's definitely some fear. But like, man, like, this worked out stuff. That it was awesome, and we've just been playing big shows, so it's gonna keep us right. Where at some point when you maybe a little bit when you've been around longer as a band, you saw a lot of do it, well, definitely start reflecting like, hey, crap, like, chances might not work for you. So any or fear, but I think that record puts some pressure a little bit. We don't want to lose what we built, but at the same time, it was also like, let's just sit down and song and everything will be okay. It has to be true.
Yeah, I agree. In chapter 5 of the book, Brian, your producer for the fourth record, said that there was one song that you guys really got into a fight about, and that didn't eventually make it to the record. So I was wondering, I
Yeah.
mean, you don't have to say the name if you don't want to or anything, but I was just wondering if that song would at least make it to the promised EP or something like that.
It might. It might. We're still trying to figure out that like the what song will and will not make it. It's a really good song for me. Like I think it's one of the best we ever wrote. It's just I didn't feel and the band didn't feel like it was exactly right with the album. Like it didn't really fit. You know what I mean? And it was a little different than what people would expect from us. So who knows what's gonna happen with it? We might put out an EP, or we might save it for the next record, or maybe even some other artists will play it. I have no idea. We just know like we love the song and we're really proud of it. It's just sometimes you write something and it doesn't feel it's exactly for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Still right. You wrote it, but it's like yeah, you know what? Like that's not really. I don't know. Like it's not exactly our sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
And sometimes we take chances. Like if you look at Summer Paradise, it wasn't our typical sound, but it still worked the record. It worked with where we're at. But that's all I mean. At the same time, I'm saying that, and we could put it out to be the biggest song we ever had. And our fans could all love it. I don't know, but at the moment, at the time when we made the record, we made the decision. It felt like it was we were wiser to not put it on the record.
Yeah. Okay. And do you still plan on releasing the EP like this year?
Yeah, like we're kind of going back and forth right now with different ideas, like what we want to do with the EPs. That's why I know it's that's the danger now with like Twitter and interviews and like information being everywhere. Like as soon as you say something, people kind of assume like oh, they promised it and it's not coming, and what the hell is happening? And that's why it's a little difficult. Sometimes you got like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're excited. You're like, it's gonna be so great. And I can't wait to share that news with the fans and everything. So sometimes there's a little bit of like you get too excited and you talk too much. The plan is still to put out new music this year. I just don't know what form it's going to be. Is it going to be an EP? Is it going to be like the EP with a DVD together? Is it going to be something else, like some other kind of a release? Like we definitely want to have a bridge between this last record and the next one, something that you guys can do and you can have new music. You don't have to wait 2 years to hear a new song from Simple Plan, because that's long. And as a fan of other bands, like that, when that it takes too long. But at the same time, we don't want to ride the record too fast or botch it. You know what I mean? Not make the greatest record we can make. So definitely want to put out something. I don't know what form it's gonna get, but still like the idea of like four or five songs or three, four songs or like two songs that you guys never heard before released this year. Whether it's gonna be digital, physical, how it's gonna be combined with different things. I don't know yet, but it's definitely the plan is to put out something out.
Okay.
But now like there's so many ways you can do that now. So we just to figure out what makes the most sense, what you guys want, or what's hoping for, or whatever. You know what I mean? And what we want to do, what we're able to do in the schedule and all that. But yeah.
So you have to be very careful with what you say right now.
Yeah. I'm walking on eggshells because like with you, I can't get away with anything. With all like hardcore fans like you, is like on November 26th, you said in this interview with with the Australian newspaper that you were gonna have an EP out in just June. Yeah, I said that, but things change. But we're trying to stay, as a band, like we're trying to stay as true to our word as we can, but just understand that sometimes you get excited and you share something, and maybe in your head, like at the moment, you're sure that it's gonna come out in June, and for some reason, when you start recording or when you talk to the label about putting it out, well, we have to put it out in September. Oh, okay. Or it's not going to be ready for June. So it's not like we're lying to people. It's just sometimes, and it's big. It's not just, there's a lot of different things that happen. Like sometimes the recording takes longer. Sometimes the producer, he's not available to be there, this, before this date, and you didn't know that. So there's lots of things, can happen. So yes, I am careful.
And speaking of things that you said, I recently I was looking through like really old Simple Plan interviews, and I came across this one from 2004 that you did with a modern drummer or whatever, and
Yeah.
you said that you were talking about Still Not Getting Any, and particularly about One, the song One, and you said that, or the article says that um, the band didn't quite dig the first version of the track, so you rewrote it with an, and I quote, intriguing dance hall rhythm inspired by Sean Paul, which
Yeah.
which like to me it feels a little bit weird because One is one of the songs that doesn't sound like Sean Paul at all.
Yeah, but it's like it's well, without getting too, musical and complex, like the beat, the drum beat, it's like a dance hall beat kind of like it's that groove. It doesn't sound at all like a Sean Paul song, like zero, but in the dance hall style of music, that kind of rhythm, that beat that we use on the drums,
Okay.
and that kind of shapes the whole song, like that has like gives like the groove of the song. It's kind of somewhat influenced or reminiscent of that kind of dance hall, reggae music or whatever that Sean Paul does. So, when you do a song, like you have the melody and like you can give it whatever flavor you want. You can make it like a more straight up rock song. You can give it like you can play like a reggae style. You can play like if you want, you can play a polka song with the same melodies. It's all arrangement and it's all like it's you can make it like more like urban. Like you can give it whatever flavor that you want. So sometimes you write something and it's like, oh, okay, that sounds cool, but it's not original or it's not that special. It's good, but it's not great. So then you can experiment. Sometimes you change one little thing, like the groove of the song, or you change the tempo, or you change, a little detail or the instrumentation, and it gives like the song a whole different feel and life. And so I think that's probably what I was talking about. Like I don't think the song sounds at all. Like probably one of the most like emotional like kind of more anthem kind of song that we wrote, and with strings at the end and everything. It's really like try to find something that was kind of epic and big and but it's certainly not like a Sean Paul song. But that's why I always say like inspiration comes from the most random places. Like that song, like it was that kind of feel, like that kind of like dance hall kind of feel that we gave the song that gave it that little specialness.
Yeah, it was just really cool to see like a connection of you and Sean Paul from like such early on in 2004.
Oh yeah, we even go way back. Like I mean, we met Sean Paul like at I think for the first time in 2002 or three when we were touring. We're like they in the U.S. they have this big like radio shows they call them like festivals that are organized by like a local radio station and they put like all kinds of artists together. It could be like us and Avril Lavigne and Sean Paul and Kelly Clarkson. It was totally random like
Yeah.
that. So we would cross paths like that, and then we were nominated in the same category at the MTV Awards at the MTV Video Awards, sorry, in 2003, I think, as Best New Artist. It was us and Sean Paul and Evanescence and 50 Cent, if I remember correctly, or something like that. So we hung out with him to New York for 2, 3 days, and he was super nice. So we go like a long time.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I think I didn't ask this before when we were talking about the EP. If you or when you release it, do you plan on like making the songs into singles or music videos or something like that, or will that just remain for the normal albums?
You mean the EP?
Yeah, the EP.
I don't know. That's one thing that we're trying to figure out. That's why it's taking a little longer, and we're trying to figure out like, are we just do it straight to the fans, or do we do something where we have a more traditional kind of like one song that's the single and we make a video for it and we try to go, like we're not sure yet. We're trying to figure that out. Like we're actually gonna write some songs next week to try to add like new songs. Like it might work, it might not work, but we're gonna sit down and do like a 2 week, writing sessions to try to see if we can come up with, another song for the project or two songs or whatever. So we'll see. That's why we're still like we can't really tell you anything because we're still in the process of writing it.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. A couple months ago, you told me that you guys have the exhibition in Montreal right now, and that you apparently plan on going with it even to, I don't know, Europe, Asia, I don't know where. Is that still on? I mean, do you think that this is ever gonna happen? That we could see
Uh,
it here?
I don't know. It's not us. That obviously it's the science center that they do that. They try to take the exhibition, and if there's a museum, let's say in France or in Germany or in Czech Republic or wherever that's interested to have the exhibit, then they talk together and they figure out some kind of way for the exhibit to travel, and obviously it's complicated and it's a big deal. You have to ship all that stuff, and um, but I would love that. I mean, obviously for us, I would love it if it could go all over the world and with people see it. I think sometimes people get a little bummed out because everything that a lot so much cool stuff happens in Montreal or happens in Canada or happens in North America and all that. And I think a lot of time it's a little bit out of control. It's like it's people approach us and we like the idea. So I really hope that somebody is interested, like in Europe, and wants to bring it over. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I can't tell you, but I know that uh, the science center, like they're interested to just showcase it. They're really proud of the exhibit. Like it's in two parts. There's a music exhibit and then there's a little bit of a simple plan exhibit. So I think they're hoping they can bring it. But I can't give specifics.
Yeah, okay. And I have one last question. You guys are planning to release the music video for the song "Save My Life,"
Yeah.
and so I was wondering if you could tell me if you already know when it's going to be released.
I think from what I just heard from an email today, I think it's being finished today. So
Okay.
I think whether it's this week or next week or something like it's imminent. That's my new word. Not soon, but imminent. So
Okay.
it's gonna
Because
happen.
the
It's gonna
word
happen.
soon
I
has been kind of a joke lately in the fandom. So.
know people make fun of me for using the word soon a lot. Um, in the grand scheme of our career, 12 years. When I say soon, it could mean like a year and a half, 6 months, 1 month. It all depends. It could be next day.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's coming soon.
Okay. And
Yeah.
could you tell us something more about the video?
Yeah, sure. Video was actually really cool. It's kind of like a mix of so many different things. Like obviously there's a part of the video that's all about like all the fan footage, and I think it was important for us to do that because the song started with the tweet. The song started with fans sending in their words and their stories and what how important music can be for them and all that. So that was the base of the song. And then the next step was we had some fans flew over and in Vancouver and recorded the song with us, so we hear their voices. So when we made the video, it was like, well, we really gotta find a way to make the fans part of this as well. So that was the idea of like reaching out to them and asking them to, kind of be creative and show us like showcase different ways that they're singing the song, holding the lyrics and all that. So there's definitely like a dedicated section of the video that's all about the fans. There's a moment that it's all that footage. But it's more than that. It's like we filmed some stuff in Toronto as well. So there's some kind of backstage stuff. We also filmed so much stuff from around the world from touring that we're gonna use as well. So it's like and also we filmed like there's a lot of footage that comes from the Australian tour when we film over there. So it's kind of like I don't know, cool mix of what we get to the last year and a half, and but mostly what it focuses on is relationship with fans. That this band for us, we always saw ourselves as we're just you guys. You know what I mean? Like we're like the people's band. We're the band that we feel our career connection to the fans. You know what I mean? Like I don't know a lot of bands that would do an interview with fans like that. Skype and talking, but that's what to me it's weird. It's like it's natural because it's so that's what we're about. That's what Simple Plan stands for. What's doing things like that. You know what I mean? Like why not? And the video we wanted to do was capture that. So that kind of that special connection that we have and those moments that we have for when somebody hugs you or somebody gives you a gift or in the front row gets emotional about music and about a certain song or a certain lyric. Uh, and showcase that and showcasing fans waiting in line to meet us a moment where they meet their favorite band and I think that happens but it happens to fans all over the world. You know what I mean? Like for every band there's fans with a passion probably much simple plan. So it's kind of like I guess a trip to fans because there's no band, not just us, no music. You know what I mean? It wouldn't exist without people live and breathe it the way that we wanted to show that. And I know like some fans were kind of out there like, oh, we shouldn't release that song, as a single. But I think the lyrics and it's too powerful not to want to show that to people, to show the power of music and the work that we nation is all linked. We try to way to find a passion, and see the fans and you see them going to shows and you see how music helps them, how music can make a difference and truly save lives. The song and the video to me symbolizes who we are. And so I hope they understand that it was important for us to sort of pay tribute to them. Really for us, like our best way of showing that the fans were nothing and that our career revolves around me.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, at the same time, you guys like ask the fans to send you the pictures and the videos, and there must have been like so many pictures and so many videos that you had to choose from
Yeah.
to include in the video. And I just can't even like imagine how in the world you would like fit so many pictures or so many videos into that music video plus the whole touring thing and everything that you recorded. I mean, how did you
Well,
do that?
you'll see. There's that we had to get creative, and there's we tried to. Obviously, not everybody that sent it was we were able to put in, and it was kind of hard. Like a lot of times, like we felt really bad because there were some really good ones. That were like, ah, man, we can't fit it. But just know that we looked at it all, and like we saw all the contributions and everything, and we were really impressed. And the way we tried to do it was like to try to use as many moments with those fans and as many little pictures or little videos. So you'll see. When you see it, you'll understand. I mean, it was our best attempt. Obviously, some people will be sad. Oh, mine didn't make it, or why. I hope they understand that we tried our best.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's all I have for you right now.
All right, cool. That was fun. Thank you for taking the time, and as always, great website, and kick ass job.
Thank you.
You're on top of it.
Thank you very much. It was very nice talking to you. I haven't seen you guys in 10 months and it's been a very long time. So it's
I know. We gotta come back.
yeah. Yeah. But you will and we will see each other soon, so hopefully sooner than soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You will.
Yeah, okay. So thank you very much for taking the time. That was really really fun. Thank you.
All good. My pleasure. All right. Take it easy. Have a good night. Sorry I kept you up so late.
That's all right. That's totally okay. I
All
understand.
right.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye bye. Sleep well.
You too.